Well, before this week, you'd be forgiven for having never heard of Julie Inman Grant. However, her name has been miraculously all over newspapers and television coverage, and here it is on the Aussie Wire as well. Why? Well, because she's Australia's e-safety commissioner, something that I didn't think we needed or knew existed, and she decided to try and tell Twitter, yes, that Twitter, the Elon Musk Twitter, the global juggernaut that is in the process of eating YouTube and Facebook and everyone else alive because he's actually allowing debate there that can't happen elsewhere. Julie decided to tell Twitter what to do. And she's got the powers of the Australian e-safety commissioner, whatever that is, whatever that means, to try and hold over Twitter. I tried to make sense of it. I couldn't. So I've invited Senator Ralph Babet as my guest. Can you make any more sense of this than what I can at the moment, mate?
Well, first of all, Trevor, thank you for having me on your show. Great show,
My
as
pleasure.
always. And congratulations on launching the Aussie Wire.
Thank you.
Great initiative. Mate, I can't make sense of it. This commissioner is obviously out there with an axe to grind, and I suspect that axe has been put in her hand by the World Economic Forum, because, as I'm sure many of your viewers out there know, she is a World Economic Forum disciple. She spoke there last year. And last year, when she spoke at the World Economic Forum, I believe she said, and I'm paraphrasing, something along the lines of, we need to recalibrate free speech online and recalibrate human rights, something like that. Look, this stinks to high heaven. Absolute high heaven. Twitter's a fantastic platform. We need to protect free speech in our country. I don't think anyone is going to disagree with that. And personally, in my opinion, using Twitter, most of the trolls comes from, random fake accounts on the internet will say something like that. But most of them are hardcore leftists. I've seen no hate at all from anyone that's right-leaning across the entire platform. It just comes from the left. So if she really wants to do something about hate speech online, go after the left, go after those crazies.
And I do wonder if there's a certain amount of axe to grind here for her. She is a former Twitter employee. She's taken aim at Twitter now. She's worked her way into a position where she might have the opportunity to sort of get back at her own her former employer a little bit. But on what you just said there about hate speech, this is where the definition of words becomes very important, isn't it? Because in order to create the appearance of hate speech coming at them, they've simply redefined what those words mean now, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. And, if you see something that you don't like, I mean, people say things to me all the time that I may not agree with at all. And, saying things that you don't want to hear is not hate speech. If someone doesn't disagree with you and they vehemently put that point across and they say, I don't agree with you, you're silly or you're wrong or whatever, that is not hate speech. It's just stuff that you might not agree with. That's what it is. And I think Twitter is great like that, because Twitter, it allows you to see so many different points of view, and it brings it all out into the digital town square. If people are posting things that are genuinely illegal, unlawful, absolutely, get rid of them, take it down, whatever. But things you don't like are not hate speech. And I think that's the commissioner especially is conflating the two and getting them both mixed up. And I suspect that that's by design. Now, I will remind everyone that is watching your show right now that this commissioner, the arbiter of truth and speech in our country, was placed in this powerful position by the Liberal Party. So the party of conservative centre-right values that apparently stands up for freedom of speech and things like this is the party that put this WF stooge, in my opinion, in that position of great power. So let that sink in for all you Liberal voters out there, and perhaps the time that the next election comes around, which will be here before we know it, how about you don't put a 1 or a 2 in that box next to the Liberal Party, because they don't deserve your vote.
Well, we could be looking at a double dissolution election coming up shortly with the stalling of this housing bill, this $10 billion housing bill. That's another interview for another time. I want to come back to Elon Musk and this hate speech issue, because Elon has turned around and said that using the term CIS is now it would be considered hate speech on Twitter, and watching people's heads explode now that someone else is redefining these words instead of them is tremendously entertaining.
Look, it's just so ridiculous, right? Isn't it? Look, with things like that, I guess it depends on the context as well, how they're using it. But I think a lot on the left are using it as a bit of a slur. I mean,
Sure.
who would have thought, in 2023, this is what the general society would have degraded to, where people are coming at you and abusing you for being straight, basically. It's quite wild. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but I do know that we absolutely need to protect the right of people to be able to speak, to say whatever they want, as long as it's not illegal, unlawful. We don't have to agree with everyone. I disagree with, a lot of the people that I meet. I mean, I'm a senator. Every single day spent, disagreeing with other people, putting forward different points of view, and that's fine. Yeah. And we need to protect that, because freedom of speech is the foundation of our democracy right now, right? So Twitter, like many have mentioned before, it is a digital town square. That's what it is. Having a Twitter account and posting and having your views heard is akin to going out, I don't know, at your local shopping center, for example, any place where people congregate, putting a soapbox up and saying, this is what I believe, these are my thoughts, what do you think? And it feels to me anyway like she's trying to take that away, and she's just, using hate speech as the way that she's going to be able to control what you can say online, and that's not right, in my opinion. Now, I am going to drag her into Senate estimate, the commissioner, I should say. I should use her proper title. I am going to drag the commissioner into Senate estimates later this year. As soon as I can, I'm going to be asking her some very serious questions about her organisation and what she's up to. Because frankly, as far as I see it, I'm not impressed with what I've seen so far with the commissioner.
Well, I'll look forward to that. That will be a very, very entertaining Senate estimates, no doubt. Now, speaking of entertaining, there is one very important topic we need to get to. We've discussed trivial things like human rights and freedom of speech and hate speech and all the silly things. Let's get to something really serious. In a cage match between Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, which we've just seen, it's blowing up all over Twitter and all over Instagram right now. They do appear to actually be replying to each other. It seems like the Octagon in Las Vegas is going to be the location. Who are you putting your money on?
Ooh, as much as I dislike the man, Zuckerberg has been training recently.
Yes.
So that has to factor into it. Obviously, my wish is to see Elon Musk triumph, both with Twitter as a business and in the cage as well. The guy's a fantastic guy, self-made billionaire, advocate of freedom of speech. How can I not like the guy? So, I'm thinking maybe Zuckerberg's got, at the moment, one up on Elon, but Elon, he is dedicated, he's passionate, he's driven, he's a very smart guy. I'm sure if a cage match ever happened, he'd be training, he'd be working out, he'd be in the ring, he'd be getting ready with the same gusto that's taken him from basically nowhere into founding the greatest businesses that the world has ever seen, going into outer space. So if he takes that work ethic with him, he gets in the ring, he trains, then maybe, just maybe, it's going to be Elon Musk.
Well, I can tell you who the winner's going to be. It's going to be the popcorn manufacturers. They are going to make an absolute freaking fortune selling popcorn as we all sit there and watch it all unfold. I'm selling everything and buying shares in popcorn companies. Look, Senator Babette, thank you so much for your company here on the Aussie Wire. We really do appreciate it and look forward to that Senate estimates hearing. Good luck in all that you do.
Thank you. And once again, congratulations on the Aussie Wire. If people aren't subscribed, click that subscribe button, get involved, sign up to the mailing list, support TOFA, because without guys like TOFA, we are not going to hear the truth, and we're not going to hear the other side of the argument, because we all know, watching this right now, that mainstream media is controlled. They are censored. They tell you only what they want you to know. They never bring you the other side of the story. So get behind people like TOFA Field. Thank you, mate. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Senator.